passing forgetfulness that he was also far from home strikes me as a failure of empathy. The yearning may have been more his than my own. It was odd that he should think of me, even as I crossed my own threshold, as a stranger, someone on the verge of departure, highly susceptible to the mere mention of flight. I might at that moment have turned around and gone. I might just then have been thinking of it. But it says much about the impermanent status of my residence here. My neighbors were accustomed to seeing me leave with luggage in the earliest part of the morning. I had maintained an innocence of city politics and refused certain hallmarks of the committed citizen of New York, like a red or black wire rolling cart for groceries, or a tabloid newspaper selected on the basis of the best horoscopes. I should not have been surprised that some of my neighbors on Lenox Avenue were still trying to understand my presence in their midst. On a different occasion, a different man from outside my door had asked where I was from. He was surprised, pleased even, to hear I was from Texas. "Oh," he'd said, "I thought you were a foreigner." One restless, idle hour, I sat at the library on 135th Street and consulted the Columbia Lippincott Gazetteer of the World, copying out the following entry, as if to gain my bearings. Harlem, a residential and business district of North Manhattan Borough of New York City, Southeast New York, bounded approximately by Central Park and 110th Street South, East River East, Harlem River Northeast, 168th Street West. Largest Negro community, population more than 400,000 in U.S. grew up here after 1910. One of the most congested districts in U.S. Harlem also has large colonies of Puerto Rican, Italian, and Latin American background. The Dutch settlement of New Harlem was established here 1658 by Peter Stuyvesant. In the Revolution, Continental forces stopped the British advance up Manhattan in battle, September 1776, of Harlem Heights. Area remained virtually rural until improvement in 19th century of transportation links with Lower Manhattan. Public housing projects begun in 1930s, and other attempts to relieve unfavorable conditions there have been made. At first it seems to give an all-encompassing view, complete with official borders, colonial heroics, and important urban planning highlights, yet it manages to say nothing at all. In search of further detail, I seized upon another definition from the pages of the Handbook of Geographical Nicknames. This volume reveals that a city called Hankou is the Pittsburgh of China, that the Happy Valley refers to war-torn Kashmir, and to the Riverine Gorge cut by the Tennessee, and that the Harz Mountains of Germany, the location of the silver mines where Leibniz once toiled, is now or once was the stronghold of paganism. Situated near these is Harlem, whose nickname, the capital of the Negro population of the United States, was not nearly as catchy or evocative as I'd expected. Though the phrase lacks poetry, it retains an accidental precision. The outdated term, Negro, already antique when the book was published in 1980, fixes our attention on the past. At the library, I found another source of coordinates. Harlem is blocked in by the high ridges of Morningside Heights and St. Nicholas Terrace, by the East and Harlem Rivers, and by Central Park. Those declared boundaries did not tell me anything new. More important was the action of those physical frontiers. Harlem is blocked in. Geography is destiny. The WPA Guide to New York City, first published in 1939, goes on to describe who and what is blocked in by those ridges, those rivers, and that pastoral fiction of a park. Negro Harlem, into which are crowded more than 250,000 Negroes from southern states, the West Indies, and Africa, has many different aspects. To whites seeking amusement, it is an exuberant, original, and unconventional entertainment center. To Negro college graduates, it is an opportunity to practice a profession among their own people. To those aspiring to racial leadership, it is a domain where they may advocate their theories on